Let's now understand what do you mean by workers. Now, normally by worker what you understand is some kind of a temporary worker, but that is not the case. From an economics perspective, worker includes all those people who are engaged in economic activities. Now, even an entrepreneur is a worker. Why? Because he is also engaged in an economic activity, even though he might fall under the category of self-employed, which means that he is his own master. Self means himself, employed means engaged in meaningful work. So any person who is engaged in an economic activity is known as a worker. Let's take a case of a farmer who is engaged in growing agricultural produce. Okay, let's say this is his field. Now this farmer, because he is engaged in an economic activity, is a worker. Okay, let's say this farmer is supported by his wife in this work. So she becomes a worker who helps the main worker. So she is also a worker. So the farmer is a worker, the wife, because she is helping her husband in the main activity, is also a worker. And the third one is temporary worker. Suppose the farmer realizes that I can do only this much of the field if I were to do the work myself along with my wife. So what he did was he went out and got another guy who was ready to work with him on the field, let's say for 6 months. So this guy who's working for 6 months becomes a temporary worker. Why? Because after 6 months he may or may not be required by the farmer. I mean, we all know that in agriculture the business is seasonal. So he's required for a temporary period of time. It's not that he's required on a regular basis. So even this guy becomes a worker. And of course, the fourth one, as I said, is a self-employed. So let's say this entrepreneur was having a factory. And in factory, he's employing 100 people. So this entrepreneur is also a worker. When I say worker, worker from an economics perspective.